Hi everyone, and welcome to Accounting Ed TV, where we take the top accounting topics and discuss with our knowledgeable and good-looking experts here.
Well, good looking might be a little bit of a fraud on this case, but we can go with that.
All right, today we have Mr. Bob Minetti here, and we're going to talk about his recently published article. It's called Criminal Identity Theft in the Fraud magazine. So thanks for joining us, Bob.
Well, actually, it's the title of the article was I Didn't Commit That Crime, but It's on criminal identity theft.
Okay.
And what's important is for people to understand that criminal identity theft is a growing crime in the United States, and it's something that you need to be aware of.
Sure. So how does criminal identity theft differ from other forms of identity theft?
Well, the classic example of criminal identity theft would be somebody getting a driver's license, a false driver's license, with your information on it, but their picture. Then they get pulled over for speeding and they give the officer the fake driver's license, and then they don't show up for court, obviously, because that was the whole purpose of using the fake ID. And then when you don't show up for traffic court, the judge issues a bench warrant in your name, and usually the first time you find out about it is the next time you get stopped and 5 police cars pull around you and you get arrested. And of course, when you say it wasn't me, it's not like every criminal who's ever been arrested hasn't made that same claim.
Sure.
Now, the new form of criminal identity theft takes it a little bit further. What they do is they take your name and social security number, and using your name, they go down and form an LLC. And then they use your social security number to either get an EIN from the IRS or to open up a bank account with you as a sole proprietor for this LLC they just formed. Once they have that bank account, then they're able to do a number of different things. They can run stolen checks, the checks they've stolen from the mail or from other companies, and deposit those checks into the account, and then as soon as that money clears, they wire it overseas.
Right.
They also use stolen credit cards. They take the credit card numbers, which they buy online. Millions of credit card numbers are being sold online, and these were obtained through data breaches. You've heard of the Target, the Home Depot, the other data breaches where people's credit cards were stolen. Now they take these credit cards and they run false sales on these credit cards. And as soon as the money comes in, they wire it overseas. So then what happens is, after a while, you see that there's a large amount of money, illegal money running through these accounts. One case in Houston, Texas, a gentleman by the name of Oyuno Consinko, he actually stole a little over $5 million using this kind of fraud, leaving the entire burden of the fraud onto the gentleman whose identity he stole. So obviously when the law enforcement becomes aware of this type of illegal activity in the bank account, who's the first person they go after? They're not going to go after the criminal because they don't know who that person's name, but they have your name and social security number tied to the bank account. You get a visit by the police, and of course when you tell the police I didn't do it, they say, oh, no problem, we'll come back later.
Right.
No, you're going to get to do the perp walk. They're going to handcuff you. They're going to take you out of your house in front of your neighbors or out of your office in front of your coworkers. And even if you end up being proven innocent later, there's always going to be people who are going to think, well, they must have had some reason for arresting him because they remember the arrest. They don't remember anything after that.
So as an individual or viewers at home, how do they reduce their risk becoming a victim of this kind of identity fraud?
Well, to reduce your risk of criminal identity theft, well, just like financial identity theft, you need to protect your personal information, especially your social security number. But just like when you're worried about financial identity theft, you've seen all the commercials on TV about getting credit monitoring service. I think we've all heard commercials from LifeLock. We understand how that works. Well, you also need to look at your background. You need to do a background check. There's a number of organizations that'll let you order a background check on yourself on the internet. They run from $29 to $49. And you want to do that at least once a year to find out, are there any warrants out for your arrest? Have you been listed as an owner of an LLC that you're not aware of? Have you been listed as a statutory agent or a shareholder in a company or a benefactor of a trust that you don't know anything about? And you need to make sure that you then research that to make sure that you don't become a victim of criminal identity theft. Because the problem with criminal identity theft is, even if you're innocent, the cost to clear your name going through an indictment and a criminal trial could run you $40,000, $50,000, even $100,000.
What about Google? What about Googling your name?
Absolutely. You want to Google your name, Bing your name. As a matter of fact, you should Google your name at least once a month to find out what's being tied to you out there. So that you can protect your identity. You don't want other people to use your information, especially without your permission.
Well, that was great, Bob. Thank you so much. And to our viewers at home, if you have any questions regarding the topics we discussed today, or you want to talk about any other topics you'd like us to cover down the road, please feel free to reach out through social media, Facebook, of course, Twitter, and our email address below. So thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.